Yes, we can wake up. All rise.
Please be seated. Good morning. This is the 2 a.m. initial appearance hearing calendar for May 1st, 2026. It is ordered that pursuant to ARS Title 41, Section 1750C and Rule 4.29 of the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office shall 10-print fingerprint every person scheduled on this IA calendar that was arrested for 1. Any felony offense, 2. Any violations of ARS Title 13, Chapter 14, 3. ARS Title 28, Chapter 4, or 4. Any domestic violence offenses as defined in ARS 13-3601 before being released from custody. It is further ordered that pursuant to ARS Title 13, Section 610 and Rule 4.2, Subsection 10 of the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure, that the arresting agency shall secure a DNA sample as required by ARS Title 13, Section 610, Subsections K and G for every person scheduled for this IA calendar that was arrested for any charge specified by ARS Title 13, Section 610O, and provide compliance to the Superior Court. Okay. As you just heard in the recording, this hearing is for a very specific purpose. I will tell you why you are here, if an attorney has been appointed for you, when and where your next court hearing will be, if you are eligible for release, what your release conditions will be, and any bond amount required. I will not read all the release conditions to each of you. That is your responsibility to review, but I may point out a few depending on your case. You're all here today on criminal matters, which means you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do may be held against you. This hearing is being recorded. It is also being live streamed. I will only ask you for your name and your date of birth. Today there may be victims watching the live stream, so I'll read the victim rights advisement and then we'll begin with your hearings. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law. That, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. We'll now begin with your hearings. I will call you in one at a time. When it is your turn, come to the podium in the center of the room and speak into the microphone. I will call a second person's name to have a seat in those chairs right there by the door so we can move quickly. Once in a while, I may need to pause the hearings to handle a warrant. If that's the case, please remain seated until your name is called to enter the hearing room. At the end of your hearing, you'll be provided with paperwork that has all the information I'm about to give you. It has the telephone number for your attorney if one's appointed, as well as the next courthouse. It has the date, time, and location all printed out, and importantly, it has those release conditions that you need to review. Hold on to that paperwork. It is important for you. We'll begin this morning with Donald Whitney. Please come to the podium. And then after that will be Nate Sean Hamilton. Please have a seat by the doors.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Donald C. Whitney, 9/5/1974.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on two matters. The first matter is a new case, and in your new case, it is alleged that you committed one count of misconduct involving weapons, which is a Class 4 felony. This court found probable cause and appointed an attorney for you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. And because you were already out on felony release in a different matter, you're not eligible for release today with this new felony allegation. That's under the Arizona Criminal Rule 4.2 A7A. So your other matter is your second thing that's here today, and it is that you failed to go to your not guilty arraignment hearing back in October of 2025. So you have an attorney in that case already. Now you have a new hearing date, May 8th at 8:30 in the morning. That you'll see on your paperwork carries a $4,000 bond, but don't pay that until after you have a bail eligibility hearing, and that will also be on May 8th, but at 1:30 in the afternoon. And at that point, they'll determine if you can become eligible for bond going forward. So it's all on your paperwork, the different hearing dates and times, which case goes with which, and your attorney's number is also on your new case's paperwork.
Yeah. That case was vacated. When I went to all the court hearings and it was vacated.
It was not.
They came out and told me that on the judges. Yeah.
So I looked at the ISIS docket before, just to make sure, and it was not vacated, and they were waiting for you to come. They issued a warrant for you on the 28th of October.
Yeah, but the judge, they vacated on that day, and my attorney didn't even come to that court because it was vacated. And I went to all my courts, you know. I don't know how that was. Man.
So that wasn't the case, sir. It just shows that you failed to appear, and then they issued a warrant for you of $4,000. So that's what happened there. But you are free to talk to your attorney, and you may be assigned a different one out of, it looks like you're assigned with Public Defense Services, so OPDS. So their phone number will be on your paperwork, and you can call and talk to them about that.
Okay. I understand.
Please take your paperwork, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Nate Sean Hamilton, please come to the podium. Kevin Dunbar, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Javion Nate Sean Hamilton, 10/11/98.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on two matters. The first one is a new case. It's alleged you may have committed having one count possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, that's a Class 4 felony, misconduct involving a weapon, that's a Class 6 felony, and then having marijuana in your possession that was not the legal amount, it's a Class 6 felony. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. On this new case, you do have a bond. It's $25,000 secured appearance bond, and then you do have release conditions. Those are your normal terms for being on probation. Your second case here today, though, is a probation violation. So the new allegations in your new case do result in a Term 1 or Condition 1 violation. So an attorney has been appointed for you, and your next hearing is May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. Because of the nature of the allegations and the type of probation you are on, you are going to be held with no bond under Arizona Criminal Rule 7.2C until you go see the probation judge. They could make a change on that once they review the case. Please take your paperwork, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin Dunbar, please come to the podium. Emma Diaz Ryder, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Kevin Dunbar, 9/16/93.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on an arrest warrant. It is alleged that in May of last year, you may have committed 2 counts, aggravated driving under the influence with a suspended license, which is a Class 4 felony. 2 counts, aggravated driving under the influence for the 3rd time, which is a Class 4 felony. 1 count, possessing a weapon by a prohibited person, which is a Class 4 felony. And 1 count of having narcotic drugs in your possession, also a Class 4 felony. The state has now brought charges against you. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release. It is under a cash-only appearance bond of $20,000 with random illegal drug and alcohol testing. If you're able to post that bond, make sure you go and do all your testing as required and go to your next hearing. If you're not able to post the bond, you'll stay in custody and be transported to your next hearing.
Okay, because the drugs were not on my possession, in my possession. They're in another vehicle that I was driving.
So what happened here is there is allegations from last year, and the state has now brought charges against you. And you're going to need to go to court for those charges, but there is an attorney to assist you. So if you have questions about those allegations, talk it through with your attorney, okay?
Because I never got charged with those either.
So you've been charged with 4 different allegations, and you'll need to talk to the next judge about the merits on that.
Okay, and then the gun, I bought that legally from pawn shop.
Say it again, please.
I bought the gun legally from a pawn shop.
So you'll have to talk with the next judge about the weapon, but right now they've brought those charges against you.
Okay, so how much would it be to pawn shop?
They said you had a weapon and you're prohibited from having one.
Yeah, but how much would it be to bond out?
Oh, how much is it to bond out? $20,000 cash, sir.
That's to get out.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Please take your paperwork, sir. That's all written out on your paperwork as well.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Emma Diaz Ryder, please come to the podium. Monica Moore, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Emma Diaz Ryder, March 1st, 2004.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 3 matters. The first one is a new case. In your new case, it was alleged you may have committed criminal impersonation, which is a Class 6 felony, and then unlawful flight from law enforcement, also a Class 6 felony. This court found probable cause and appointed an attorney for you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. You're still eligible for release, but it is under a $7,500 secured appearance bond. You have the regular terms and conditions of probation if you're able to post your bond. Your other 2 matters here today, one is a probation violation warrant. It alleged that you violated terms 3, 5, and 7. So an attorney has been appointed, and your next hearing in probation court is May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. This carries a $500 bond. And your last matter is another they're both probation violation warrants, and they had the same $500 on each. So altogether, ma'am, you are looking at $8,500. If you're able to post that bond, call your probation officer and go to your 2 sets of hearings, the new case and your probation case. If you cannot post the bond, you'll stay in custody and be transported to your hearing. Please take your paperwork, ma'am. Monica Moore, please come to the podium. Monique Roman, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Monica Moore, 7/21/88.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 3 matters. The first one is a new case. It is alleging theft of means of transportation, Class 3 felony. An attorney has been appointed for you, and your next hearing is downtown Phoenix, May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, and you do have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Your other matters here today are a failure to appear to your sentencing hearing. So in that case, it was from February of this year. You already have an attorney. Your next hearing will now be May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. It also carries a $2,500 bond. And your last matter is that you did not go to your probation violation hearing, and that was also in February. So an attorney has been appointed for you, and your next hearing is also May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. It also carries a $2,500 bond. So altogether, that's $7,500 in secured appearance bond. If you're able to post those bonds, call your probation officer and go to your hearings. If you're not able to post your bonds, you'll stay in custody and be transported to your next hearings. Please take your paperwork, ma'am. Monique Roman, please come to the podium. Brian Tucker, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Monique Roman, 10/22/1993.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here today on 3 matters. The first one is a new case. It is alleged that you committed unlawful flight from law enforcement, which is a Class 5 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney for you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, and you do have a $1,000 bond on this new case. Your other 2 cases, ma'am, are your probation violation warrants. They're both alleging that you violated terms 3 and 5. So you do have attorneys appointed to assist you in those cases, and your next hearing is May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix, and your bonds on those were each $500. So altogether, you're looking at $2,000 secured appearance bond. If you're able to post your bond, call your probation officer and go to your 2 sets of hearing, your new case and your probation case.
Okay.
If you're not able to post your bond, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported to your hearing.
Okay.
Please take your paperwork, ma'am. Thank you. Brian Tucker, please come to the podium. And then Charlie Lynch, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Brian Tucker, 11/30/1982.
Thank you, sir. You're here today because you failed to go to your status conference in February. You
Yes,
have
ma'am.
an attorney in your case, and your next hearing will be May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. When you failed to appear, they issued a warrant for your arrest. It does carry a $1,000 bond, but you have the same release conditions as before otherwise.
Okay.
If you're able to post that bond, make sure you go to your next hearing. If you cannot, then you'll stay in custody and be transported to your hearing.
Okay.
Please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Charlie Lynch, please come to the podium. Barnaby May, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Charlie Lynch, 10/13/94.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on 3 matters. It appears that they are all probation violation warrants. So they're alleging that you violated terms 4 and 5 of your probation. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix, and your warrants each carried, 2 of them carried a $250 bond, and 1 of them was a $500 bond, so it's $1,000 secured total. If you're able to post your bond, make sure you call your probation officer, and it looks like you need to call them right away. You're on IPS. And make sure you go to your hearings. Follow your terms and conditions of probation. If you cannot post your bond, you'll stay in custody and be transported.
There's no way you can lower that bond?
No, sir, not on yours because of the violation.
All right, then, cool.
Okay, please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Barnaby May, please come to the podium. Michael Calvin, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Barnaby May, April 17th, 1985.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on 2 matters. They're municipal court warrants. It looks like they're both out of Peoria Municipal Court. So there is going to be bond set on both of them, so an attorney has been appointed in the matter of bond only. If you want to fight them on their merits, then you'll need to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. Your next hearing at Peoria Municipal Court for both matters is on May 5th at 9 in the morning, and they do each carry bond. It looks like they're both $250 each, so that's $500 total. If you're able to post your bond, make sure you go to Peoria Municipal Court and get these taken care of. The warrants are not satisfied until you go to Peoria Municipal Court and work this out with them. Their phone number is also on your paperwork. If you cannot post your bond, and it is a cash bond, then you'll stay in custody and be transported to Peoria. Please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Michael Calvin, please come to the podium. Selena Castaneda, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Michael Javon Calvin, 4/27/1987.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're here today on an arrest warrant. It is alleging that in April of 2018, you may have been involved with misconduct involving weapons, which is a Class 4 felony. So I looked back in your record to find out what happened here. It looks like you did go to an IA back in 2022, and then you did not go to your status conference, but the court started everything over again in January of 2023. They tried to issue a summons and mail it to you, but it kept getting returned. It did not arrive to you. And so they issued a warrant for your arrest in February of 2023. So an attorney is being appointed for you again. Your next hearing date will now be May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. And because of them not being able to get you to come to court, even though you'd come here already once and then you didn't appear again, they did issue a warrant for your arrest.
Yeah, I never knew they.
But you were
issued
here in person back in 2022, and they told you to go to your status hearing, and you did not go.
No, I wasn't, man.
Well-
I haven't been back to jail since the time of 18. I have
Right.
not been back to jail.
So it looks like there was an initial appearance hearing here in 2022.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
It
I
wasn't
promise
you? Okay, so this would be something you can discuss with your attorney, because based on the docket, it looks like you got your release orders, but then you failed to appear. So I am going to affirm that $500 bond. If you're able to post your bond, make sure you go to that hearing on May 7th and find out what happened there. If you're not able to post your bond, you will stay in custody and be transported to the hearing on May 7th.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
But so, one more question, I'm sorry. So I can bond out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please take your
You have a
paperwork.
great night.
Selena Castaneda, please come to the podium, and then David Mariscal, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Selena Virginia Francesca Castaneda, August 12, 2000.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on two matters. They're both probation violation warrants. An attorney has been appointed for you. Your next hearing is May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. Each of your warrants does carry bond. One is $100, the other one is $250, so it's $350 secured. If you're able to post your bond, call your probation officer within 72 hours and go to your hearing. If you're not able to post your bond, you'll stay in custody and be transported to your next hearing. Please take your paperwork, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
David Mariscal, please come to the podium, and then Frankie Hampton, have a seat by the door, please.
David Mariscal. Good morning.
Good morning. Please tell me your date of birth.
7/13/92.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It was alleged that you had dangerous drugs in your possession. That's a Class 4 felony. Also that you were criminally trespassing in a residential structure. That's a Class 6 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on May 15th at 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released today under pretrial services. So that means in a few hours when you are released, you need to call them and check in with them, and they will give you a schedule to be checking in with them, and then they'll help you get to your hearing. You do have other conditions of release. You are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime.
Okay.
All right, make sure you review your other release conditions so you don't accidentally violate them. Make sure you go to your hearing or they'll issue a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
All right, please take your paperwork, sir. Frankie Hampton, please come to the podium. Destiny Watson, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Frankie J. Hampton, 9/21/81.
Thank you, sir. You're here on an arrest warrant. It's alleged that in August of 2025, You may have had dangerous drugs in your possession, which is a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The state has now brought charges against you. This court is appointing an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 15th at 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released in a few hours under pretrial services, so make sure you give them a call within 72 hours of your release and go to your hearing. Follow your other terms and conditions carefully. Please take your paperwork, sir. Destiny Watson, please come. Yep.
He has, he's gonna be held here until the 13th, get another 4 days.
He's going to be here till the 13th?
Yes.
Okay, then he can be released after the 13th.
Yeah, we have to clean those city courts, so we'll get him to that.
Yeah, so he can still be PSA after that. Thank you. Please say your name and date of birth.
Destiny Watson, 9989.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here on a new case alleging narcotic drugs in your possession, which is a Class 4 felony, and then drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. This court found probable cause and appointed an attorney for you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 15th, 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released under pretrial services, so make sure to give them a call after you are released within 72 hours. Make sure to go to your hearing downtown Phoenix.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Please take your paperwork. Thank you, ma'am. Corey Erickson, please come to the podium. And then Uriel Reyes, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Corey Erickson, June 12th, 1958.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It was alleged that you violated terms 3, 4, and 5. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. When I was reviewing your docket and your APETS notes, I saw that you were in compliance and doing very well up until October, and then something happened with your living situation. So I hope that you have that resolved. So you are going to be released today to the supervision of your probation officer. So in a few hours, when you're released, make sure you call your probation officer, let them know what happened, that you had this law enforcement contact, and about your new hearing dates. Stay in compliance with your probation terms and go to your next hearing, sir.
I will, thank you.
Okay, please take your paperwork. Okay. Oh. No, they're all returned. Good morning, this is Commissioner Gentry. Is this the Spanish language interpreter?
Yes, ma'am. This is Vanessa, ID number 316527.
Thank you, Ms. Vanessa. Before we begin, I need to ask you if you will swear or affirm that you will directly translate my words from English into Spanish and the defendant's words from Spanish into English, exactly as we say them, to the best of your ability.
I swear.
Thank you. We will begin. Mr. Uriel Mercado Reyes, please come to the podium.
Señor Uriel Ricardo Reyes, por favor, venga al podio.
Okay.
You are here today on a criminal case, so you do have the right to remain silent.
Usted se encuentra hoy aquí en relación a una causa penal. por lo que tiene derecho a guardar silencio.
Anything you say or do may be held against you. This hearing is being recorded.
Todo lo que diga o haga podrá ser utilizado en su contra. Esta audiencia está siendo grabada.
Please wait for the interpreter to finish speaking before you speak.
Por favor, espere a que el intérprete termine de hablar antes de intervenir.
Please say your name and your date of birth.
Por favor, diga su nombre y fecha de nacimiento.
Uriel Reyes Mercado, 3 de noviembre de 1985.
So we have Uriel Reyes Mercado. It would be November 3 of 1985.
Okay. Let me change that. Okay. Thank you. You are here today on a new case.
Gracias. Está usted aquí por un nuevo caso.
It was alleged that you had dangerous drugs in your possession and narcotic drugs in your possession. Those are both Class 4 felonies.
Se indica que usted, se alega que usted tenía en su posesión drogas peligrosas y estupefacientes. Ambos delitos son graves de clase 4.
An attorney has been appointed to assist you.
Se le ha asignado a un abogado para asistirlo.
Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 15th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su próxima audiencia será en el centro de Phoenix el día 15 de mayo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
You are going to be released on your promise to go to the hearing and follow your release conditions.
Será puesto en libertad bajo su promesa de asistir, o bajo palabra de asistir a la audiencia y cumplir con las condiciones de su liberación.
Your conditions include do not possess or consume any drug without a valid prescription.
Sus condiciones incluyen no poseer ni consumir ninguna droga sin una receta válida.
Also, do not leave the state of Arizona.
Asimismo, no salir del estado de Arizona.
Okay.
Una pregunta.
Mm-hmm.
Aquí ahorita antes de entrar para acá, me miró una persona y me dijo que tenga multa o no tenga multa, lo que hagan, el IFE va a venir por mí, me va a llevar. ¿Cómo voy a asistir yo a la audiencia esa?
So before I came in here, somebody looked at me and told me that either I could set bail or not, that ICE was going to take me away. So how am I supposed to attend the hearing?
Were you told by the ICE officer at the detention facility that they were going to arrest you?
¿A usted le dijo algún oficial de ICE en el centro de detención que lo iban a arrestar?
Aquí me dijo que en 8 horas venían por mí y me iban a llevar a otra parte. Pagar o no pagar la fianza, a mí me iban a llevar. Si la pagara, bueno, si no, no la pagara, todo bien.
It was here that they told me that either it doesn't really matter if I set bail or not, or I paid bail or not, that in 8 hours that they were going to come here and take me somewhere else.
Okay. So what I am going to do is I'm going to set a $50 bond so that you will have a reason to stay in Maricopa County.
Ok, así que, bueno, entonces en este caso lo que yo voy a hacer es fijarle una fianza de $50 para que usted tenga un motivo para permanecer en el condado de Maricopa.
So what I have done is I have changed your release orders to set a $50 bond that should hold you in Maricopa County while this case is pending.
Ok, así que lo que yo he hecho es modificar su orden de liberación y establecer una fianza de $50 para que
It
esto...
didn't.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Esto debería de mantenerlo en el condado de Maricopa mientras este caso se encuentre pendiente.
Okay.
Ahorita, ¿qué procede?
So your next hearing will now be May 7th at 8:30 in the morning here in Phoenix.
Así que ahora su próxima comparecencia va a ser mejor entonces el día 7 de mayo a las 8:30 de la mañana aquí en Phoenix.
And you do have an attorney that you can call and speak to. Their number is also on your paperwork.
Así que usted cuenta igual con su abogado, al que puede llamar y con quien puede hablar. Su número también va a encontrarse en los documentos que nosotros le vamos a entregar.
Okay. So if you don't pay the bond, then Maricopa will have a reason to hold you.
Así que para que comprenda mejor, si usted no paga esta fianza, el condado de Maricopa tiene un motivo para retenerlo. No se lo pueden llevar.
Pues fue lo que me dijeron. Si la pagas o no la pagas, te vamos a llevar, me dijeron. O sea, pero entonces ahorita... Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. So all of this is on your paperwork, and you will have your paperwork to refer to.
Igual todo esto va a estar en su papeleo y va a tener esta documentación para poderla consultar.
Okay.
Okay, please take your paperwork.
Thank you.
We do have one more defendant speaking Spanish. So Juan Ovalle Salas, please come to the podium.
Okay, señor Juan Ovalle, por favor venga al podio.
Okay. Please wait for the interpreter to finish speaking before you speak.
Okay.
Por favor, espere a que el intérprete termine de hablar antes de que hable usted.
Okay. Please say your name and date of birth.
Juan Ovalle.
Por favor, diga su fecha de nacimiento también.
Juan Ovalle, 0531-1983.
0581. I'm sorry. ¿Me lo podría repetir un momento, por favor?
0531-1983.
Gracias. I apologize. It was 5/31/1983. Juan Ovalle.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case.
Gracias, señor. ¿Está usted aquí por un nuevo caso?
It's alleged you may have committed 2 counts of burglary or unlawful entry, which is a Class 4 felony.
Se alega que usted ha cometido 2 cargos de robo con allanamiento de morada o entrada ilícita, lo cual constituye un delito grave.
1 count fraudulent use of a credit card, which is a Class 6 felony.
Asimismo, enfrenta un cargo por uso fraudulento de tarjeta de crédito, lo cual también se clasifica como un delito grave.
5 counts. Okay. 5 counts of having control of stolen property.
5 cargos por tener en su propiedad robada.
And 1 more count, fraudulent use of a credit card being alleged as a misdemeanor.
Y una cargo adicional en la que se le alega el uso fraudulento de una tarjeta de crédito y este se considera como delito menor.
Okay. An attorney has been appointed to assist you.
Un abogado se le ha asignado para asistirlo.
Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 15th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su próxima audiencia será en el centro de Phoenix el día 15 de mayo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
You are also being released on your promise to go to your next hearing and follow the release conditions.
Asimismo, se le pone en libertad bajo promesa de asistir a su próxima audiencia y cumplir con las condiciones de su liberación.
Do not return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victims.
Estas dichas condiciones le prohíben regresar al lugar del presunto delito o tener cualquier tipo de contacto con las presuntas víctimas.
If you don't go to your next hearing, they will issue a warrant for your arrest that does carry bond.
Si usted no incumple con asistir a su próxima audiencia, se le emitiría una orden de arresto en su contra que conlleva una fianza.
Okay. All of this is written out on your paperwork.
Okay, thank you as much.
Todo esto sería en su papeleo.
Okay. Ms. Vanessa, thank you very much for your assistance today. We could not have done those hearings without you. That was our last Spanish language person.
All right, ma'am, if that's all you need for me, and I have to say it's been a pleasure working with you. You have been great. Also, because not everyone speaks clearly and pause like you do. So you have been great.
Oh.
Also, makes my job easier. Thank you for using our services, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You as well. Bye. We do have 2 more matters, and they are going to be house calls. The first one is Domenico Luke Bergman. He's refusing to follow directives, date of birth 7/11/1991. Here on a new case, not registering as a sex offender, which is a Class 4 felony. An attorney has been appointed for him. His next hearing is May 15th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. He is going to be released on his promise to go and register. And then the last person is Victoria Robles, date of birth 5/3/1987, also refusing to follow orders. She is here because of a new case alleging shoplifting, which is a Class 4 felony. She has an attorney appointed. Her next hearing is May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. She was already out on felony release, so she has a second hearing for bail eligibility on May 8th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And she does not have release conditions because she is not eligible for release. It is not my intention to return to this recording. If there are any changes, they will be reflected on the written orders. At this time, the 2 a.m. initial appearance hearing calendar is in recess till 5 a.m. Please be seated. Okay. Okay. Good morning. This is the 5 a.m. initial appearance hearing calendar for May 1st, 2026. The court's orders for DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. As you just heard in the recording, this is a very specific type of hearing. I will tell you why you are here, if an attorney has been appointed for you, when and where your next court hearings will be, if you are eligible for release, what your release conditions are, and any bond amount required. I will not read all the release conditions to each of you, but I may point out a few depending on your case. You're all here today on criminal matters. That means you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do may be held against you. I will only ask you for your name and your date of birth. This hearing is being recorded. It is also being live broadcast, so I will read the Victims' Rights Advisement, and then we'll begin with your hearings. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law, that among others include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. We'll now begin your hearings, and I'll call you in one at a time. When it is your turn, please come to the podium in the center of the room and speak into the microphone. I will call a second person's name to have a seat in those chairs right there by the door. Once in a while, I may need to pause the hearing in order to handle warrants. If that's the case, just remain seated until your name is called for you to come in. At the end of your hearing, you will be provided paperwork. That paperwork has all the information I'm about to share with you. Your attorney's phone number, the courthouse phone number, the date, time, location of your next hearing, as well as those release conditions that you need to review. Please hold on to your paperwork. It is important for you. We'll begin today with Larry Bradley. Please come to the podium. After that will be Aiden Bond. Please have a seat by the door.
Grand Rising, Your Honor.
Please say your name and date of birth.
My name is Larry Bradley. December 3rd, 1974 is my birthday.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on an arrest warrant. It's alleged that in October of 2025, you may have had possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, 5 counts, which is a Class 4 felony. So the state has now brought charges against you. This court is appointing an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th. It's at 8:30 in the morning. You do have bond. It's $10,000 secured, and that is from that direct complaint that the state filed. If you're able to post your bond, you have a few release conditions, including not to have any weapons. If you're able to post your bond, make sure you go to your next hearing or they'll issue another warrant for you. If you cannot or you're being held in custody for some other reason, they will transport you to your next hearing, and then you'll be able to speak with the judge then. Okay, please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Aiden Bond, please come to the podium. Brian Rolando Diaz, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Aiden Bond, 10/21/2005.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It's alleging 2 counts having a deadly weapon and failing to admit it. 1 count having being a minor with liquor in your possession, 1 count having an open container of liquor in a vehicle, and then 2 counts of carrying a deadly weapon and being less than 21 years old. These are all being alleged as misdemeanors. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is at the El Centro Justice Court on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release. It is a $5,000 secured appearance bond. If you're able to post that bond, follow your release conditions, which include no weapons and no alcohol, and make sure you go to your next hearing or they will issue a warrant for your arrest. Please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Brian Rolando Diaz, please come to the podium. Jordan Jones, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Brian Rolando Diaz, July 16, 2007.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on 2 matters. It looks like they are both, no, one of them is a probation warrant and the other one's an arrest warrant, so we'll take them in turn. On your probation violation warrant, it's alleging a new term 1 violation, and that's because of the arrest warrant. So an attorney has been appointed for you. Your next hearing is May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. This carries a $900 bond and your regular terms and conditions of probation. Your other matter is the arrest warrant. It's alleging that on December 31st of last year, you may have committed theft of means of transportation, which is a Class 3 felony. So an attorney has been appointed for you. Your next hearing is also May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. This does carry a $2,000 bond. So if you're able to post your bond, you'll go to your hearings on the same day in the same building, but they're in 2 different courts. It's similar to like this, where you have the gallery and you wait your turn to be called. If you're not able to post your bond, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported to those hearings, and the officers will make sure that you get to both hearings. So either way, though, you want to make sure you get to both hearings so you don't get a failure to appear going forward. So you have your same terms and conditions of probation. If you're able to post your bond, call your probation officer, go to your hearings. If you cannot post your bond, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported to your hearing, sir.
Okay.
All right.
I have a question though.
Yes, sir.
So, my probation got violated for the arrest warrant.
Right,
So
so the
that-
underlying offense from that arrest warrant.
And that carries 2 charges?
So basically what happens is the state is bringing charges against you for that theft of means allegation.
Right.
And when that happens, it triggers a term 1 or condition 1 probation violation too. So you have 2 cases going on, a new case and your probation case. And you're going to see a judge for each of them, and they're 2 different judges.
Okay.
All right, please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Jordan Jones, please come to the podium. Maisie Query, have a seat by the door, please.
Hello, miss. How are you doing today?
Please say your name and date of birth.
Jordan Jones, 0609-1996.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on an arrest warrant. It's alleged that over multiple dates, so July of 2025, September 2025, October 2025, and then twice in January of 2026, you may have committed shoplifting as a Class 4 felony. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. You're eligible for release under a cash-only $1,500 bond. If you're able to post the bond, make sure you go to your hearing. If you're not, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported to your hearing. Please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Maisie Query, please come to the podium. Hector Valdez, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Maisie Curry, 04/10/2006.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today because you failed to go to your probation non-witness violation hearing back in April. So you have an attorney already in your case. Now you have a new hearing date on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. When you failed to appear, they did issue a warrant for your arrest, and it is a $500 secured appearance bond. If you're able to post that bond, call your probation officer and go to your next hearing. Follow your terms and conditions of probation. If you cannot post the bond, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported to your next hearing. All right. Please take your paperwork, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hector Valdez, please come to the podium. Rachel Webster, have a seat by the door, please. Here in the center, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Hector Valdez, 03/30/92.
Thank you, sir. You're here today because you failed to appear at your final trial management conference. So a warrant was issued for your arrest. You already have an attorney in your case.
Yes, ma'am.
Your next hearing will be May 6th at 8:30 in the morning downtown Phoenix. When the warrant was issued, it was issued for a $50 cash bond. So if you're able to post that bond and you don't have anything else holding you, then make sure you go to your next hearing.
Yes, I was incarcerated, that's why I didn't show up, but I won't miss.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but that's not reflected in the record, and so I am going to affirm the bond.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So make sure you follow your release conditions and go to your hearing if you post the bond. If you cannot post the bond or there's something else that's holding you, then you'll be transported to your next hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take your
Have a good
paperwork. Rachel Webster, please come to the podium. And then Ami Davis Martin, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Rachel Webster, January 8th, 1983.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on a new case. It's alleged that you may have committed aggravated assault that resulted in temporary disfigurement. That's a Class 3 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on May 15th at 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released under what's called pretrial services today. So in a few hours, when you get out, make sure you call pretrial services. They'll give you the number.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You have some conditions on your release. You're not to have any physical contact with the alleged victim.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
also not to possess any weapons, possess or consume alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription.
Okay.
The next judge can change these orders, but for right now, they are very strict.
Okay.
Also, if an order of protection is issued against you, be sure to comply with that court order.
Okay.
Okay, it hasn't been yet that I know of, but if it happens, then make sure to comply.
Ma'am, could I get can I get an order of protection?
You would need to talk with the prosecutor's office. They won't do mutual ones, like you can't both have one, but you can go and argue for one if you feel it's necessary.
Yes.
Okay, all right, please take your
Thank you
paperwork.
so much, ma'am.
Amy Davis Martin, please come to the podium. Alicia Terry, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Me, Patricia David Martin, 31481.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here on a justice court warrant. It looks like it was issued last year in April. It's for criminal trespassing as a misdemeanor, so no attorney is going to be appointed for you. You can hire one or represent yourself.
Okay.
Your next hearing is at the West Mesa Justice Court on May 19th at 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to that hearing.
Yes.
Okay. Please take your paperwork, ma'am. Alicia Terry, please come to the podium. Ronald Jordan, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Alicia Terry, January 13th, 1995.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on a new case alleging assault as a misdemeanor. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney for you. Your next hearing is at the Buckeye Municipal Court on May 19th at 2 in the afternoon. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to the hearing, but also to follow the release conditions. Your release conditions do include that you're not to possess any weapons, possess or consume alcohol, or drugs without a valid prescription. Will you promise to go to your hearing?
Yes.
Okay, please take your paperwork, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ronald Jordan, please come to the podium. Jasmine Agbana, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Ronald Jordan, 11/29/1985.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case alleging theft as a Class 3 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 15th, and that's at 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to the hearing and to follow the release conditions, which include not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, not to have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. Make sure you do not leave the state of Arizona. All right, please take your paperwork, sir. Jasmine Agbana, please come to the podium. Bobby Jackson, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Jasmine Obona, September 20th, 1990.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on a new justice court alleging assault as a misdemeanor. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is at the Agua Fria Justice Court on May 20th at 10:30 in the morning.
Okay.
You are going to be released today on your promise to go to the hearing. Supervision was recommended, but it's not available for the justice courts, so make sure you go to that hearing because they will issue a warrant for your arrest if you don't appear. You do have some conditions, and they do include you may not return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. Don't possess weapons, consume alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do not leave the state of Arizona. If you have questions about these, you can talk with your attorney. Their phone number should be on your paperwork.
Okay, thank you.
Please take your paperwork. Thank you, ma'am. Bobby Jackson, please come to the podium. And then we'll have Arthur Anderson.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Please say your name and date of birth.
Bobby Jackson, 6284.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a justice court warrant that's alleging you were driving without a valid license. It looks like it's an old warrant and that you failed to appear, and so they issued another warrant for you. No counsel will be appointed because of the way this is alleged, but you can hire an attorney or represent yourself. Your next hearing is at the Hacienda Justice Court on May 20th at 9 in the morning. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to the hearing, and I just need to caution you that even though you're being released, the warrant's not resolved. So you've got to go to that hearing and figure out what to do about that warrant so that they can resolve the warrant. Otherwise, anytime you may have law enforcement contact, they will keep bringing you here.
Okay.
All right, so call them. Their phone number's on your order. Make sure you go to the hearing, be ready to get it resolved.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's only a warrant, right?
It's just a warrant, but
I'm saying,
it's
is that the only one?
the only one I see. I don't see any others. If you have ones that I don't deal with, I wouldn't see them.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Thank you.
Please take your paperwork, sir. Thank you. Okay, I'll go ahead and read in the house calls while you clear the gallery. All right. So we do have some people we're going to see as house calls. The first one is Sophia Aguirre. She's refusing to follow directives. The date of birth, 8/29/2000. It is a new case alleging aggravated assault, Class 5 felony. An attorney has been appointed. Her next hearing is downtown Phoenix, May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, and she has a $5,000 secured appearance bond with electronic monitoring and conditions on her release. The next person is Amber Couch. She is being combative, date of birth 5/27/1990, here on two matters. They're both municipal court warrants alleging disorderly conduct and fighting. So she has attorneys appointed because they are apparently domestic violence matters. Her next hearing is Peoria Municipal Court, and that's on May 5th at 9 a.m. And on each of them, she has a $500 bond, so it's $1,000 total. She does have release conditions because of those allegations: disorderly conduct, assault, criminal damage. And they do include that she can't have weapons, should not possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription, and must obey any order of protection that's issued against her. And then I believe we're going to probably see these people by iPad, because that's what they do sometimes. After the hearing is over, we'll call over to, if they're at LBJ Mental Health.
Okay.
So, Tizana Mason Gardner, she's not available to come into the hearing room today. I think we're going to see her remotely. and her date of birth is 2/21/08. It's an arrest warrant alleging that in February, she may have committed 2 counts aggravated assault against a first responder, which is a Class 4 felony, 2 counts aggravated assault against a healthcare professional, Class 6 felony. So an attorney is appointed, and her next hearing is May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. She has a $5,000 secured appearance bond and conditions. And the last person, same situation over at the mental health unit, is Alexis Guzman, date of birth 1/31/02. She has 2 probation violation warrants that we're seeing her for. It's alleged she violated terms 3 and 5. An attorney has been appointed for her. Her next hearings are May 7th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. She has a $500 bond on each, so $1,000 total, and her release conditions are those for someone on standard probation. Okay, we're back up. Mr. Anderson, please come to the podium. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Arthur Anderson, date of birth is October 23rd, 1974.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It was alleged that you may have committed 1 count of voyeurism, invasion for sexual stimulation, which is a Class 5 felony, and then 1 count of unlawful viewing or taping or recording a person, which is a Class 5 felony. Based on the law enforcement report, this court did find probable cause. We did see the note that you already have an attorney that you've hired, so no attorney was appointed for you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release. The state recommended $150,000 cash. However, this court did review the factors from ARS 13396B or 3967B and found that that might be unreasonable. So instead, your bond today is set at $50,000 secured appearance bond, meaning you can use a bonding company. So you can use a bail bond company, and you would have electronic monitoring due to the nature of the allegations. So that will restrict where and when you can go places. You just need to let pretrial services know about your work or other commitments and obligations. If you're able to post the bond, make sure you do not return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witness, or complainant. I understand that was your residence, so you are permitted 1 civil standby. That means you can call law enforcement and go together with that escort to retrieve necessary things that might still be at your residence, like identification, clothing, medication. They won't resolve property disputes. They'll let you go in and out real quick. Also, you're not to have any contact with minors or to use the internet except for your pending legal case and your work. I understand from your profession you may need to use the internet for your work. Okay. You're not to have any weapons. You're not to possess or consume alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. And that does include simulated weapons or replicas, as well as THC, CBD, or marijuana products. You would need a prescription for those. They impair judgment. So that's why that's included here. If an order of protection is issued against you, be sure to comply with that order of protection. So I would normally say your attorney's phone number is on your paperwork, but you have it, right? Okay, all right. So all of this information is written out on your paperwork for the release conditions. Review them carefully if you're able to post bond, and you can use a bonding company for this matter. Okay, please take your paperwork, sir. Okay, that was our last defendant, and I'm just going to check. So for these individuals over at mental health unit, we should do the iPad so that they still have their hearings.
Great.
Okay. I don't know if you need to let your desk know or how you want to do that.
Let me call.
Okay. And I can do it from here, or I can do it like in 10 minutes from my office, whatever works better for them.
Okay.
I'll be right down there then. Sounds good. Okay, so we can go off the record. All right.
Ready Valdez, 10/29/88.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of aggravated DUI, a Class 4 felony, one count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony, and one count of reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have 3 hearings coming up. You have a status conference, May 7th at 8:30, an evidentiary hearing, May 8th at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing, May 11th at 8:30. Because you were out on felony release at the time of this alleged offense, you're not eligible for bond today. The time set to determine if you're eligible for bond on these new charges is the evidentiary hearing on May 8th at 1:30. This will all be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
It's just up to your left, the officer will get that for you. Cody Sullivan to the podium and Daryl Bursey to the chair.
How you doing?
Can I get your name and date of birth?
Cody Sullivan, 05/18/07.
Thank you. You are here today on a new case. It is for 2 counts of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of discharging a firearm at a non-residence, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of discharging a firearm in city limits, a Class 6 felony.
Okay.
Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have 2 hearings coming up. You're going to have a status conference, May 7th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing, May 11th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100,000. In the event you post bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you will be equipped with electronic monitoring. You're also going to have written conditions. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You're not to possess weapons or alcohol. This will all be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
How could I go about doing a plea deal or something to get like a full house arrest for it?
So today, we're not able to discuss that. You don't have your attorney here and the prosecutor is not here. You're going to meet with your attorney at the next hearing on May 7th at 8:30. So anything that you want to discuss as it relates to defending your case or potentially taking a plea deal, you should talk to your attorney about that in private, and then they can have a discussion with the prosecutor to see if that is an option, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Anything further?
I can call somebody to post my bond. It's 100,000, so it'd be 10,000 or 1,000?
If you use a bail bonding company, bail bonding companies are typically 10% plus collateral, so that would be 10,000. The officers are going to take you to the processing department probably in about the next 30 minutes or so. Once you get there, you'll get information and you'll be given access to telephones to get that.
So I will have my last court date by the 11th?
Well, that's just your second court date. That's not your last court date. It's just the two we're setting today. Depending on how you end up proceeding, this could be in court for the next couple of months to the next year or so, just depending on how you move forward if you go to trial. Ideally, it would be resolved in a couple of months, but again, that just depends on evidence and things of that nature.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if you'll step to your left, the officer will get that for you. Daryl Bursey to the podium. John Willis to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Darrell Bursey, 7/19/79.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. You are here for 1 count of discharging a firearm at a residence, a Class 2 felony, 6 counts of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, 6 counts of endangerment, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony. For purposes of today, I'm not finding probable cause for the dangerous drug possession. It doesn't mean that charge is dismissed. I just simply don't have enough information here today. I am finding probable cause for the other charges. I'm appointing an attorney and setting 2 hearings. You have a status conference, May 7th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing, May 11th at 8:30. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons, and you may not possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. This will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Okay.
Please take a step to your left, and the officer will get that for you. John Willis to the podium. Deandra McEwen to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
John Willis Jr., 12/9/73.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case.
Yes.
It is for 2 counts of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, and 2 counts of threat, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference, May 7th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing, May 11th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you'll be equipped with electronic monitoring. You also have written conditions of release. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons, and you may not possess or consume alcohol. This will all be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
I pay the rent, so that's my apartment.
Even if you are the owner or the person on the lease, if the other alleged victims in this case reside there, you will be the one that will have to find an alternative residence. You may contact law enforcement for 1 civil standby to collect your belongings, though.
Okay, so, but she's not on the lease, she don't stay there.
So if you need to move forward with properly, legally having her removed, if that's appropriate, you can do so, but that's not going to happen between now and the next week or so. So it will be your responsibility to leave until that time comes, okay?
Okay.
And so you can talk to your attorney at your hearing. Again, if the alleged victims no longer live there, you can ask the court to modify this release condition. But for the time being, because they are residents, if they've been residing there, and you're currently the one in custody with these charges, you will be the one that will have to not return to that home at this time. But you can collect your belongings, just do not go there without law enforcement with you to collect those things, okay?
Okay, so one more question.
Sure.
Will I be released today?
So you have a bond of $25,000. If you post that bond, you'll be released from custody. It takes about 4 to 6 hours once the bond is posted. If you're unable to post the bond, then you would remain in custody and they transport you to the hearing. So it really just depends on when you get that bond posted.
Okay.
Okay. We do need to reprint this, so if you could take a seat in the gallery, we'll bring that out to you, okay? DeAndre McEwen to the podium, Robert Eastman to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
DeAndre McEwen, 3/17/1982.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference, May 7th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing, May 11th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. This will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions? Please take a step to your left, and the officer will get that for you. Robert Eastman to the podium, and Brianna Flores to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Robert William Eastman, 6/20/77.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on 2 cases. They're both failure to appear bench warrants that were issued for you. One relates to your probation case. The other one relates to a pending case for dangerous drug possession for sale, dangerous drug possession for use, and drug paraphernalia. I am going to affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you in these cases. You're going to have a status conference and a probation hearing May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. On the case where you have pending charges, you have a cash bond of $20,000. In the probation case, it's a cash bond of $1,000. So between the 2 cases, it is a cash bond of $21,000. In the event you do post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. You'll also need to ensure that you attend all of your future hearings. If you were to fail to appear again, another warrant would issue, and you'd also forfeit any bond that you posted. That will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Please take a step to your left, and the officer will get that for you. Brianna Flores to the podium, and Daniel Woodson to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Brianna Flores, January 6, 1994.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of fraudulent schemes, a Class 2 felony, one count of promoting prison contraband, a Class 2 felony, one count of theft means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, and one count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $15,000. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. This will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
I have a job. Is there any way that I can be released for an OR or something like that? I don't want to lose my job.
Right, and I do understand that, and I do note that you were at work at the time this arrest took place. However, I do have some concerns regarding the allegations in this case. The allegations do include that you were in possession of a U-Haul vehicle that was rented by you, however, utilizing an identification of another person. In addition to that, it does indicate that within your possessions there were multiple identification and cards belonging to other people. So I do have some concerns regarding the risk you pose to the community. And so based on that, the bond will need to be posted in order to be released from custody.
Okay.
Okay? If you'll step to your left, the officer will get that for you. Thank you. Daniel Woodson to the podium. Karina Rodriguez to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Daniel Lucas Woodson, 03/20/1979.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of theft means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
You're going to have a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $15,000. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you will have written conditions. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. No contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. This will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Please take a step to your left, and the officer will get that for you.
All right.
Karina Rodriguez to the podium. Jeremy Lodger to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
I'm Karina Rodriguez, 9/13/02.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here today on 3 cases. It does look like you're here on 2 probation violation warrants and 1 failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you. Your probation violation warrants allege that you violated terms 1, 3, and 5. And your failure to appear warrant relates to pending cases for taking contraband into a correctional facility and dangerous drug possession. I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed on your failure to appear case. I am going to appoint an attorney on your probation case. Actually, it looks like you already have an attorney on that case as well, because you were already in probation revocation proceedings. So I'll affirm the attorney previously appointed. You're going to have a couple of hearings coming up. You're going to have a status conference along with a probation revocation hearing May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. In each probation case, you have a bond of $2,500. On the failure to appear, it is $1,000. That is a total bond of $6,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 24 hours. This will be in your paperwork, ma'am. Did you have any questions? Please take a step to your left. The officer will get that for you. Jeremy Logger to the podium. Leonardo Campos to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Jeremy Loger, 8/18/1982.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of narcotic drug possession for sale, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 4 felony. For purposes of today's hearing only, I am not finding probable cause for the narcotic drug possession for sale, and because of that, I'm not finding probable cause for the possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense. I am finding probable cause for possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. However, although I'm not finding probable cause today, it does not mean that those charges are dismissed. It just means I don't have enough information here today. That does not mean they won't charge you or supplement the report or test any substances. I'm appointing an attorney and setting a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess any weapons, and you're not to possess or consume any drugs without a valid prescription. This will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
So I'm not being OR'd?
No, sir. You do have a bond of $5,000 that will need to be posted. Okay. We do need to reprint your paperwork, so please take a seat in the gallery, and the officer will bring that out to you. Mr. Campos to the podium. Aaron Merlina to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Leonardo Morales, February 29th, 2004.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for 2 counts of narcotic drug possession for sale, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of misconduct involving weapons, a Class 4 felony, 2 counts of narcotic drug possession for use, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. For purposes of today, I'm only finding probable cause for 1 count of the narcotic drug possession for sale and 1 count of the narcotic drug possession for use. You were charged with 2 counts. I'm finding probable cause for 1 count. I'm finding probable cause for the other counts as it relates to drug paraphernalia and weapons. It doesn't mean the counts that I'm not finding probable cause today on are dismissed. I just don't have enough information for multiple counts. I'm appointing an attorney and setting a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess any weapons, and you're not to possess or consume any drugs without a valid prescription. That will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
When it says that I'm not supposed to like carry weapons, does that mean my gun rights were like taken away, or what does that mean?
So for purpose, let me see if you have any felony convictions. Okay, so you don't have any felony convictions, but for purposes of your release conditions at this time, you're not to have any weapons. If you're ultimately convicted of any felony, they will remove your rights to carry a weapon. However, they have not been permanently removed at this time. It's just a release condition. So until this case is complete or another judge modifies your release conditions, you're not to possess any weapons at this time. Okay? Anything further?
No.
Okay, please take a step to your left. The officer will get that for you. Aaron Merlina to the podium. Amy Isaacson to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
My name is Aaron Merlina, and my birthday is 12/1982.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you have 3 cases on the calendar. You have a failure to appear bench warrant from Maricopa County, and then you have 2 warrants from Added County. So we'll go over each of these cases. Your Maricopa County warrant is failure to appear at a hearing on a probation case. I'm going to affirm your attorney that was previously appointed and set a probation revocation hearing May 7th at 8:30. That one's in Maricopa County.
Okay, ma'am.
You have a hearing or a warrant out of Navajo County Superior Court. That is a warrant for failing to appear at a hearing with an underlying charge of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 2 counts of DUI, Class 1 misdemeanor. The offense date on that is from June 11th of 2024.
Man.
I'll appoint an attorney and set a hearing in Navajo County Superior Court, May 6th at 8:30. Your third case is from the Snowflake Justice Court. That is an initial arrest warrant that issued June 2nd of 2025. It is for 2 counts of DUI, a Class 1 misdemeanor, with an offense date of May 7th of 2024. I'll appoint an attorney. You'll have a hearing May 6th at 8:30. On your Maricopa County Superior Court case and your Navajo County Superior Court case, you have a secured appearance bond of $500.
Okay, ma'am.
On the Snowflake Justice Court case, you have a cash bond of $500. So your total bond is $1,500. However, $1,000 is secured, $500 is cash. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to possess or consume alcohol. And you're not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
You likely heard that you have 2 hearings on the same date, different locations.
Yes.
You'll have to contact the locations. You'll have to either contact Navajo County Superior Court or Snowflake Justice Court to ask them to move one of those hearings. Those are the only dates I have available, so you'll have to contact them if you're released from custody. If you're not released, then the officers will let them know.
I am going to be on it like no other business. Cancer struck my family very hard, and that's why I absconded probation. And these DUIs are blood-related, a blood toxicity test that came back a year later that I was unaware of. So I fully intend on taking care of every matter in this issue. And so, just to be understanding, my bond is for $1,500. I can get out completely today with conditions.
Assuming you don't have warrants from anywhere else, these are the only 3 warrants that I showed. Just double check with the officers. If you post the $1,500 and this is all you're here for, you would be released. Make sure you go to your hearings and make sure the first thing you do is let one of those courts know that you need to move the hearing date because you can't be in 2 places at one time.
And would my wife is I own a business. I live in Florida, and my wife lives in Florida. Would she be able to call and just pay the whole cash to a bail bondsman, and they could post it for me even if she pays all the cash?
So they're going to give you instructions in the back. If you intend to pay it all cash, you can typically just do that directly through 4th Avenue Jail.
Because she doesn't live here, that's the only problem.
Yeah, I don't know if they take payments over the phone. The officers will have those answers better for you when you get to the processing section. If not, you can contact a bail bonding company, but it's not uncommon that people from out of state handle these matters, so I'm sure they have a method for you to do that.
And one last question, Your Honor, if you wouldn't mind. If I have my business account and my bank card in my property, would I be able to post my own bond?
No, you won't. If you have cash on you of $1,500, then
no,
yes.
I would never carry that.
If you need to get access to those cards, then no, you will not be given access.
So my wife will have to do it?
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I appreciate your leniency.
Thank you, sir. Just step to your left, the officer will get that for you. Amy Isaacson to the podium. David Rodriguez to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Amy Isaacson, 8/28/78.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here today on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you. It was issued in April of 2021. You had pending charges of 1 count of aggravated assault and 1 count of resisting arrest. I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed and set new hearings for you. You're going to have a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond of $1,700. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. This will be in your paperwork, ma'am. Did you have any questions?
No.
If you step to your left, the officer will get that for you. David Rodriguez to the podium. Carrie Hawkins to the chair.
Good morning, Your Honor.
May I get your name and date of birth?
David A. Rodriguez, 42681.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on 2 cases. You're here on a failure to appear warrant from the Superior Court, and you're also here on a warrant that was issued by the El Centro Justice Court.
What is that for, Your Honor?
We'll go over it in just a moment. Your failure to appear as it relates to the Superior Court case, that is a pending charge of 1 count of unlawful means of transportation. I'll affirm the attorney previously appointed in that case. You have a status conference May 7th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Courthouse. The other warrant, that one's from the El Centro Justice Court. That warrant was issued on January 28th of 2025. It relates to 1 count of driving with a license that was suspended, revoked, or canceled, and failing to appear at a hearing related to that charge. You failed to appear at a hearing in January of 2025, and as a result, this warrant issued for your arrest.
Okay.
The underlying offense was actually from 2017.
Okay.
In that case, I'll appoint an attorney. You'll have a hearing May 7th at 8:30 in the El Centro Justice Court. Each case, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500 for a total bond of $1,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You have a hearing date in the Superior Court and the El Centro Justice Court, same date and time. Can't be in 2 places at once. I've included the El Centro Justice Court phone number in there for you. Just let them know if you do post bond, what happened, that you have 2 hearings, and you need to get the May 7th hearing date moved. Typically should not be a problem for you, but just make sure you do that. Not appearing at one of them will result in a warrant, okay?
And the reason for the, me not appearing on the court dates of last year was, my wife was in a bad accident. And, not only that, but we got our house foreclosed. And not only that, but my niece was murdered, last year, the same month I was supposed to appear court and everything. So there was really bad things that were going on during this year, in the beginning of the year 25. So it's not that I didn't want to take care of these things. It's just a lot of things have happened over this past year that just passed. And I mean, I don't get in trouble a lot. I've been a law-abiding citizen. I've been staying out of trouble. I haven't been in trouble in over 13 years. I've been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm asking you that you can overturn that. If I can be released on my own recognizance to take care of these things. I mean, I would really appreciate it, Your Honor. I got babies at home and everything that's waiting for me, and my wife works nights, so I'm kind of like the caretaker during the daytime.
Let me take a look at your case, one moment. Are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
So my concern is you had substantial amounts of failure to appear in the past.
I was a lot younger, Your Honor. And like I said, the only reason why I missed my court dates of last year was due to the fact that, my house got foreclosed. My wife was in a bad accident, and my niece got killed the same month. It's all in the same month of last year, in 2025. But now we're on our freedom, we're good now, we got a home, and we're both working, everything's good. I do want to take care of this matter, and I'm asking that if you can please overturn that and release me on my own confidence, if possible, Your Honor.
So I'm not inclined to release you on your own recognizance just due to the failure to appear, number of failure to appears that you have had. I'm also concerned that these warrants are over a year old and there has been, nothing has taken place in an attempt to resolve them. It does look like I've actually seen you previously on the El Centro Justice Court warrant, released you on your own recognizance at that time, and it still resulted in you failing to appear. So, you know, I don't want you to lose your employment or have anything negative in that nature. I do note that your criminal history does look to appear to be fairly old, with the exception of your current pending charge from 2023 that you're here for today. So I can release you today on an ankle monitor to ensure that you attend your hearings. That wouldn't require any bond, but that would be the only other thing I'd be willing to consider.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. So for your Superior Court case, that's going to change your hearing dates as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to release you on an ankle monitor in that case. Your hearing dates are now going to be changed to May 15th at 8:30 and May 18th at 8:30 for the Superior Court case.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. And then for the El Centro Justice Court case, that hearing date's going to be May 21st at 9:30. So you're not going to have any overlapping dates anymore. In that case, you'll be released on your own recognizance because it's a justice court case. I can't release you to any other pretrial services. But you'll still be on the monitor for the Superior Court case. Just make sure you go to these hearings so you can avoid continuing to be taken into custody on these issues, okay?
All right, Your Honor.
All right, take a seat in the gallery. We'll bring those out to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Carrie Hawkins to the podium. Anthony Martinez to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Carrie Hawkins, 12/5/80.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of theft, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond of $1,000. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. I also note that you're currently on probation out of the state of Ohio. You would need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. This will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
What's the probable cause again?
So there's allegations today that allege that you took the property of another, which included a Louis Vuitton bag.
I can't hear you.
Do you need some headphones so you can hear better?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Okay, let's get those for you. Just one moment, okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is there any proof of that?
So wait till you get your headphones and we'll go over everything, okay?
All right, I can hear you. I just put them on?
Yeah.
Hello?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and start over just to ensure that you receive all of the information. You're here today for new charges for 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of theft, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Your hearing dates are May 7th at 8:30 and May 11th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you would have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. I also note that you're currently on probation in the state of Ohio, so you would be required to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. To answer some of your questions, the Form 4 indicates that you removed the property of another, which included a Louis Vuitton bag. You took a phone out of that bag and damaged that phone. The information also indicates that you admitted to throwing the phone in the air. However, after that point, you did not answer any further questions. So based on that information, I have found probable cause, which just simply means that there's enough information for me today to believe that these crimes occurred. You're not being found guilty of those things. You're going to have an opportunity to defend yourself in this case, which is why I've appointed an attorney. You'll meet with that attorney May 7th. Did you have a question?
Yes. Why is only one-sided?
So the information that I have here today indicates that the police officers did give you an opportunity to speak, and based on that information, they've indicated that you did admit to at least one portion of the allegations in this case.
Right, they never asked me nothing else.
Yeah, they indicated that you no longer wanted to speak.
No, they never asked me nothing.
Okay.
I never indicated that I never wanted to tell them what was going on. They never asked me.
Okay. Talk to your attorney about any defense you may have against this. We're not going to decide today whether or not you're guilty of these things. If you post that bond, you'll be released from custody.
Right, that's the thing. Why I have to get locked up for something that nobody never told me nothing about. To me, I've been set up. It's a setup for me.
Okay.
I'm being in jail for nothing.
Talk to your attorney about that, okay?
Right, but I'm locked up, so I have to talk to somebody, but I'm already locked up. So can I tell you one little piece apart? Because I understand y'all, this is weird for me.
So my only, hold on, my only concern was I want to let you know that anything you do say is being recorded. I've appointed an attorney to represent you.
Okay,
hold on. That attorney is not here with you today. Mm-hmm. And so I don't recommend talking about the facts of your case. I have already decided that I have probable cause for the information.
There was no probable cause. That's the point.
Well, what I'm saying is I believe there's
right, that
probable
was you
cause.
believe. But the point is, there was no probable cause. And if I never had it, even if they said I threw it up in the air, say I threw it up in the air, right?
Okay, so my job is to determine whether or not
I understand that, but I'm trying to answer your question.
Over each other?
You talking over me.
So, sir, I don't want you to talk about the facts of your case. You want to argue with me about whether or not there's
probable cause.
All right, let me go then.
I'm about to go.
Take a step to your left. Anthony Martinez to the podium. Mariah McGrew to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Anthony Tyler Martinez, 09/24/2003.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on two cases. They are both probation violation warrants with allegations you violated Term 13 and Term 2. I'm going to appoint an attorney and set a probation revocation hearing May 7th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $400 in one case, $250 in the other, for a total bond of $650. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. That will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions? Please take a step to your left. The officer will get that for you. Mariah McGrew to the podium. Lance Tribbett to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Mariah McGrew, 10/24/97.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here today on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you for a case related to narcotic drug possession and drug paraphernalia possession. I'm going to affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you and give you some new hearing dates. You're going to have a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any drugs without a valid prescription. You're also going to need to ensure that you attend all of your future hearings. If you fail to appear again, another warrant would issue, and you'd also forfeit any bonds you posted. That will be in your paperwork, ma'am. Did you have any questions? Please take a step to your left. The officer will get that for you. Lance Tribbett to the podium. Bobby Walsheimer to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Last trip at 8/23/69.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on two probation violation warrants with allegations you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'm appointing an attorney and setting a probation revocation hearing May 7th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $250 in one case, $100 in the second, for a total bond of $350. In the event you post that bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You're not to possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. That will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Please take a step to your left. The officer will get that for you. Bobby Welshheimer to the podium. Dylan Durantes Ademi to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Bobby Wilsheimer, March 13th, 1997.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on 2 cases. You're here on a new case, and because you were on probation at the time of this alleged offense, you're here on a probation case. Your new charges are for 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and then your probation case is a Term 1 violation. I'm finding probable cause and appointing an attorney to represent you in both cases. You have 3 hearings coming up. You're going to have a probation revocation hearing May 7th at 8:30, a status conference May 15th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing May 18th at 8:30. I am going to release you to the supervision of the Adult Probation Department, but you do have written conditions of release. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to possess or consume alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. That will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank
Please
you.
take a step to your left. The officer will get that for you. Dylan Ademi to the podium. Douglas O'Connor to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Dylan Durantes, 02-15-2006.
Thank you. You are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of theft, control of stolen property, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of burglary tool, a master key, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 15th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing May 18th at 8:30. I'm going to release
Can you repeat that again?
May 15th and May 18th, both at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Courthouse. I'm going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services, but you do have written conditions. You're not to return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons or alcohol. You're going to get an envelope with your paperwork. You have 72 hours to contact pretrial services from the time you're released. That will all be included in that paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Am I getting a release right now?
It takes about 4 to 6 hours to be released from custody.
Okay, I have a question. If I have my marijuana card, could I smoke?
If you have a valid prescription,
Yeah.
then you can, as long as you have a valid prescription, okay, which would be your medical marijuana card, okay?
Okay.
But no driving while under the influence, and make sure you have a valid driver's license, all right? All
Thank
right.
you.
Step to your left. Douglas O'Connor to the podium. Whisper Bennett to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Doug O'Connor, 4/14/83.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case for 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 15th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing May 18th at 8:30. I am going to release you today to the supervision of pretrial services, but you do have written conditions of release. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription. You'll get an envelope with your paperwork. You need to read the instructions and then contact pretrial services within 72 hours of your release. Did you have any questions?
No.
Please take a step to your left, and the officer will get that for you. Whisper Bennett to the podium. Kenneth Bragg to the chair.
Good morning.
Good morning. May I get your name and date of birth?
Whisper Bennett, July 28, 2003.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today because a warrant was issued from the North Valley Justice Court. It indicates you failed to appear at a hearing for an underlying charge of driving with a license that was suspended, revoked, or canceled, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney at your own expense if you would like. You're going to have an arraignment hearing. That will take place in the North Valley Justice Court, May 19th at 9 a.m. Just one moment, I'll give you an opportunity to speak. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at this hearing, but you do have written conditions of release. You're not to possess or consume drugs without a valid prescription, and you're not to drive a motor vehicle unless you have a valid driver's license. You're also going to need to ensure that you attend all of your future hearings. If you fail to appear, another warrant would issue, and then you'd likely be held on bond. Now, what was your question, ma'am?
Is the North Valley the surprise court?
Let me take a look.
Because I was gonna say, I've only missed like one court date in like the last since I've
It
been
is
an
surprise.
adult. I can't make it there. I don't have a car. The only reason I'm here is because I got a drive. I was taken by the police. I don't have a car. And I called them and I try to let them know that I can't get there. Like if we could transfer the case, like I don't have any problem doing a payment plan or anything. I just cannot get there. I even tried to walk there. It was going to take me 3 days to walk there. Like it's not that I'm against anything. And I've paid off my other fines. I paid off my snowflake fine. I'm trying to be a law-abiding citizen. I just cannot make it to Snowflake. I don't have, not Snowflake, Surprise. Sorry, that was where my first thing was. But I don't have anybody that drives out there. And I only know one person with a car, and she lives in Buckeye. I cannot make it out there. Like I could do, I don't know how this works, but if we could like transfer it to like the central, like Washington and 4th, I can make it there. I could take the light rail there. I could do that a million times. I just cannot make it to Surprise.
Unfortunately, it's not an option to move it.
It's not, okay.
No, it's a city court, so that's their only available location. It looks like you owe fines on that case, which means you may be able to contact them and see if you can just set up a payment plan with them to start making payments. And if you start doing that, they may be willing to vacate that hearing and not require you to go out there.
Okay.
However, if you don't get the hearing vacated with the North Valley Justice Court and you fail to appear again, they are going to issue another warrant, and then you would likely be held. So your options would be to contact North Valley Justice Court, explain your situation, see if you can get a payment plan, and if you do, would they be willing to vacate that hearing and not require you to appear? Or in the alternative, you will have to appear at that hearing, or ask them if they allow virtual appearances. I can't grant that for them, but those are your limited options. If you don't do any of those and you just simply don't go, a warrant's going to issue again, okay? So you need to make sure, I've included their phone number, make sure you contact them, explain your situation, and see what your options are with that court.
Okay. And all that's on that paper?
Yep, it'll all be in your paperwork.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you.
step to your left, thank you. And can we clear the courtroom for our last case?
Yeah, he's leaving now.
Thank you. All right, can I have Kenneth Bragg to the podium? Can I get your name and date of birth?
Kenneth Bragg, 11/25/02.
Thank you, sir. And can I get the state's appearance for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Brooke Gahn on behalf of the state.
Thank you, Ms. Gaunt. Sir, you're here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of attempted child abuse, a Class 2 felony, 2 counts of attempted aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or a dangerous instrument, a Class 3 felony, 2 counts of attempted carrying a weapon during the commission of a felony crime, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of attempted aggravated assault, impeding breathing, a Class 3 felony, and 2 counts of attempted endangerment, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 7th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. Next, we're going to discuss any bond or release conditions you may have, but first I would like to hear from the state.
Thank you, Your Honor. As a preliminary matter, the state is requesting to seal the Form 4 because it contains personally identifiable information regarding the minor victim.
Thank you, Ms. Gaunt, and that request has been granted.
Thank you.
So what does that mean? I have no bond?
So what that means, she's just simply asking that the Form 4, that's the documentation that was provided by the police department to the court, that is normally available to the public. However, because there is a minor child's name listed in that documentation, we don't want that available to the public, so we are sealing that document.
Perfect.
Okay. Next, we're going to discuss any request for bond and release conditions. Ms. Gaunt?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's asking for a $75,000 secured appearance bond, and if Mr. Bragg is able to post that, we'd ask for electronic monitor. Although it does appear that Mr. Bragg doesn't have any criminal history that we were able to find, we are concerned given the serious nature of these charges. He pointed a loaded firearm at the victim and the victim's 2-year-old child. On another occasion, he choked the victim Given the domestic violence nature of the case, the fact that there was a firearm involved, and we are talking about multiple offense dates, and additionally, given that there was a small child present at the time, we believe that he's a significant danger to the victim and to the child, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Knott. And Mr. Bragg, I did have an opportunity to review your criminal history, or in this case, lack thereof, in addition to the allegations in this case. I do believe you pose a significant danger to the community, specifically the two alleged victims in this case. I have reviewed the state's recommendation, and frankly, I was considering a higher bond. However, I will adopt the state's recommendation, which is a secured appearance bond in the amount of $75,000. In the event you do post that bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you'll be equipped with electronic monitoring. You're also going to have written conditions. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. If you reside at that location, you may contact law enforcement to collect your personal belongings. However, you're not to go to that location without being with the police department at that time. You're not to possess weapons or alcohol. This will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Please take a seat in the gallery, and the officer will bring that out to you.
May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Knott. And this does conclude our 8 a.m. calendar. We will now stand in recess until 11 a.m.
All right. All right, thank you. Please be seated. Okay. Still no LEPs? No. Okay, all right. All right, sorry everyone for the delay. Did have something come up. Okay. All right, this is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for May 1st, 2026. This court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the 2 a.m. calendar on the 1st of the month will also apply to these hearings. Before I call the first person, I am going to read the victim's rights advisement in the event there are any victims observing these proceedings, either here at the jail or remotely. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are reminded that you have rights under Arizona law that include, among others, the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, the right to a speedy trial, the right to be present at all court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you've not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. All right, we're going to start with Mr. Madrid Gutierrez, Orlando Madrid Gutierrez. If you please come to the podium. He'll be first. After that, Catalin Rosenbaum. You go to the chair. I think my last sort did not take. Just one second. Remember the guy went to house call. 1 second, sir. All right, sir, may I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Orlando Madrid Gutierrez, 071306.
All right, thank you. You are here on a new case. You've been arrested for third-degree burglary. It is a Class 4 felony alleged to have been committed April 3rd of this year. There is probable cause for that crime, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. It'll be the same lawyer that you have for your open and pending cases. You have 2 of them. I'm just going to make a record about one. It's CR 2025-103564. You are co-defendant number 2. Your initial appearance in that case was August 8th of 2025, and that case is still open and pending. I'll tell you what that means in a second. All right, so you have the same lawyer. I'm going to schedule 3 court dates for you. The first 2 will be next week. Thursday, May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. That's a status conference. Friday, May 8th at 1:30 p.m. is an evidentiary hearing. And on, Monday, May 11th, 8:30 in the morning, that'll be your preliminary hearing. The reason you're getting an evidentiary hearing is that you are on release in 2 open and pending cases. You've come in with probable cause for a felony that you allegedly committed while you had at least 1 open and pending felony case. The law says that that makes you ineligible for bail today. I cannot give you bail. You will be held in the jail without bond, at least until your bail eligibility hearing. That is the evidentiary hearing, because the court can take evidence at a bail hearing, so we set it as an evidentiary hearing. But it is, the whole purpose of it is to evaluate whether the state has enough evidence to keep you held without bail. If they don't, the court will make a decision, and if they find that you're eligible for bail, they will set release conditions on Friday, May 8th. But as of today, you must be held without bail because there is probable cause for this felony. So everything I just told you is on your paperwork. You'll go on Thursday, May 7th at 8:30. You can talk to your lawyer about what's going to happen at the bail hearing the next day, Friday afternoon. But in between now and then, you cannot bond out. If you step to your left, she's going to give you your paperwork. Thank you. All right, Ms. Rosenbaum, we go to the chair. I thought I had a second one, and I don't know where he went. Is that Mata? No.
I think it's fresh.
It is Mata. Okay. No, that's probation violation. Who is it?
Fresh 22 was in the law.
Thank you. That's who I was trying to move up, and then it didn't take. All right, after Ms. Rosenbaum, I want to do Jordan Fresh, and it might be out of order, officer, so I'm looking for Jordan Fresh after Catlin Rosenbaum. Is Rosenbaum asleep?
I'm here.
Thank you, sorry. I'm the one who's asleep. All right, can I have your full name and date of birth, please, ma'am?
Catalin Shea Rosenbaum, and it's 1492.
All right, thank you. You're here on 5 matters. One is a new case. 4 are term 1 holds in your probation cases. What that means is the probation department will be filing petitions to revoke in every case based on this new arrest. So you need a lawyer in those cases as well and court dates. So I'm about to give you those. But I'm going to start with your new case. You were arrested for unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony, and shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor, alleged to have been committed yesterday. There is probable cause for both of those crimes, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your status conference in this new case will be Thursday, May 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, with a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30 in the same court. The address is on your paperwork. You're on probation in 4 separate cases, so I'm appointing a lawyer for you in all of those. You have the same next court date for all of those. It is also Thursday, May 7th, 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. So that first hearing will be for all 5 cases, 8:30 in the morning. All right. In the unlawful flight probation case, which is number 35 on the calendar, you are held without bond because the court finds you will, in all reasonable probability, be revoked to prison in that case. You now face mandatory sentencing if you are charged and convicted in the new case. Right now, you're just arrested, but if you are charged and convicted, you face Category 3 sentencing, meaning you face mandatory prison in the new case, and the court finds it being the identical nature of case substantially increases the likelihood that you'll be revoked to prison in your probation case. So you are not granted bail at all today in your probation case. In the new case, the court sets bond in the amount of $2,500 secured. That's the new unlawful flight case. In each of your 2 felony probation cases, you have a $1,000 secured appearance bond. That's numbers 33 and 34 on the calendar. In your misdemeanor probation case, it is a $500 secured appearance bond. So you do have $5,000 worth of bond in 4 of your cases. You are held without bond in the 5th. So you shouldn't try to post bond in the other cases if you are still being held without bond in your probation case. You can talk to your lawyer about how that works. If you are out of custody, don't go to the scenes of any of the alleged crimes, no contact with your co-defendant, call your PO within 72 hours of release. If you step to your left, you get copies of that paperwork. All right, then Mr. Fresh. After that, Kensington Sloan, will you go to the chair, please? Hello, sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Jordan Michael Fresh, November 21st, 1985, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fresh. You are here on 4 matters, 1 new case, 3 probation warrants. In your new case, you were arrested for possession of narcotic drugs, it's a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, which is a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for both of those crimes, and I am appointing a lawyer for you in that case, and in all 3 of your probation cases, because you were already in warrant status in your 3 probation cases. I think they're all 3. No, I'm totally incorrect. I got you confused with somebody. You've got 1 open case, 2 open cases, and a 3rd case has now been filed against you. You're not on probation at all. I apologize. It's just so common. Okay. In number 19 on the calendar, that is another newly charged case, although it dates back a while. You have been formally charged. And this goes back to October 22nd of 2024 is the alleged offense date, with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, unlawful removal of a theft detection shielding device, which is a Class 6 felony, and shoplifting as a Class 1 misdemeanor. Again, that's October 2024, and it looks like the arresting agency was the Salt River Police Department. But if that doesn't ring any bells, you will get copies of the police reports and paperwork from your lawyer. Now, you have 2 pending cases that you've been in warrant status on. In number 20, you've been charged with unlawful failure to return rented property. It's a Class 5 felony. In number 21 on the calendar, you've been charged with dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony. You failed to appear at a status conference in one case, which is number 21 on the calendar. That's the drug case on May 6th of 2025. You separately appear to have failed to appear in front of a different judge May 13th of 2025, and that's in the unlawful failure to return case. That was a not guilty arraignment that day. So there have been warrants out for you in both of those cases for just about a year now. Okay, so you already have a lawyer in those cases. you're going to end up with the same lawyer for all of these felony cases. It's probably the same person a year ago, but personnel can change in a year, but it should be the same lawyer for all 4 cases. All righty, let's talk about court dates. In the brand new case, the narcotic drugs from yesterday, you're going to have a status conference Thursday, May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, and a preliminary hearing on Monday, May 11th at 8:30. I'm going to set those identical court dates for that 2024 case, a brand new one. So that's 2 of those. Then the other ones were mid-case, and I have to send you to different courts. So a number 20 on the calendar, you need to go be arraigned because you've been indicted. So that's going to be May 8th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. That'll be on your paperwork. And then finally, you've got that pending dangerous drug possession case. I think you've already had a preliminary hearing in that one, or you waived it. And so I'm setting a post-warrant status conference in just the dangerous drug case. I can set it together with the 2 pending cases, so that'll all be May 7th at 8:30. So it looks like you've got 3 cases going May 7th, 1 going May 8th, and then 2 of them need a preliminary hearing, so that's May 11th. So it's all within the next week or 10 days.
Okay.
Everything's on your paperwork. Now, in the newest case from yesterday, because you have at least 1 open and pending case, you have 2, but you have at least 1, and you've come in with probable cause for a new felony, I cannot give you bail today, just like somebody a couple people ago. I have to hold you for a bail hearing. You're going to have a bail eligibility hearing on Friday, May 8th at 1:30 in the afternoon. On your paperwork, it will say evidentiary hearing because it is one, but the whole point of it is whether you might be eligible for bail if the state doesn't make a strong enough evidentiary showing. So talk to your lawyer on the 7th about what happens at bail hearings, because your bail hearing will be the next day. You cannot bond out at all in that case between now and then. In the other cases, you do have bond, and it's going to be, I'm going to affirm the bond in the unlawful failure to return property case. That was $3,000 secured. I'm going to affirm that judge's bond. In the newly filed drug and shoplifting case, that's a $1,000 secured bond. And then in the dangerous drug possession case, I'm just going to affirm that judge's bond. It was $500 secured. So I make that $4,500 total in bond for the 3 cases where you do have bond. You still don't have it at all in 1 case, at least not today, possibly in a week. So everything I just told you is on your paperwork. I know it's kind of complicated. Your lawyer will understand, and you'll see your lawyer on the 7th. If you step to your left, you get your paperwork. Thank you. All right, Mr. Kensington, Sloan, Mr. Sloan. And then Telesfor Tejada, will you please go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Kensington Sloan, 9/11/2000.
Okay, thanks. You're in a new case. You were arrested for aggravated assault on a first responder. That's a Class 4 felony. Obstruction of justice by the refusal to provide a true name. That's a Class 2 misdemeanor. And criminal trespassing in the 3rd degree, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor. Based on what the police provided, there is probable cause for all of those offenses, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date will be a status conference this coming Thursday, May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. That's in the downtown Superior Court. Your preliminary hearing will be May 11th at 8:30, same court. And based on what's been alleged against you and your recent arrest history, the court sets bail in your case at $2,500. It is secured. If you bond out, you will be allowed to reside in a different county. You may not leave the state without the court's permission in this case, but you can go reside in Tuba City or some other county so long you do not miss a single court date. If you do miss a court date, you could lose this bail money forever, and there will be a warrant issued for your arrest. Other conditions: don't return to the scene, no contact with any victim, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. What's your question?
I have court on the 11th for another hearing.
Okay.
But this one's in Kingman. So.
Well, you do have a problem. If you bond out, then you'll be going on the 7th. You talk to your lawyer. Tell your lawyer to please get your prelim date moved, because I put a preliminary hearing for you in this case on the 11th. But you're going to be there on May 7th, so just ask him to move the 11th. If you don't bond out, you're stuck in Maricopa. You're going to pick up a warrant in Kingman. You might be able to get a family member to notify the court. You may be able to get that court to hold off. I don't know what your situation is in Kingman. But if you're aware of it, just know that if you don't stop a warrant in Kingman, when you eventually get out in this case, as I imagine you will at some point, You need to get on the phone to the court in Kingman and say, I've been in custody, can you please give me a new court date? Most of them will give you a is it a misdemeanor in Kingman?
Yes.
They'll usually give you a walk-in day or say, all right, if you got a warrant, you can come in and deal with it. But if you ignore it, you're gonna get arrested on it.
They told me that I can do Zoom on that, so.
Okay, well, you can try to work on that from jail if you don't bond out here. If you do bond out, then show up in Maricopa on Thursday the 7th. Be sure to tell your lawyer, hey, I gotta be in Kingman on the 11th. Can we get my preliminary hearing moved? It's not gonna be a problem as long as you tell your lawyer on the 7th that you gotta be up in Kingman on the 11th. They can help you with that.
Alrighty, and then, I think I have another court date in Mesa on the 4th.
Of what, May?
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't bond out, you won't be there. You're gonna catch a warrant. If you bond out, you can make it. Today's Friday, May 1st. You're talking about Monday, May 4th.
Okay.
Everything's on your paperwork for this case. Don't miss your court date. We're not playing around in these felony cases. If you step to your left, you get a copy of that. Thanks.
Alrighty, thank you.
And Mr. Tejada, tell us for Tejada. Hi, sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Carlos Fort Frank Gagne Tejada the third. I was born 11/29/1980.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a new case. You got arrested for shoplifting in an amount over $1,000. That's a Class 6 felony, and there is probable cause for it. I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be a status conference on May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30. Based on your criminal history and what's been alleged against you, bond is set at $2,000. It is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your written release conditions. And that includes, do not go back to the store. I'm sure they've trespassed you nationwide. They always do at Walmart. No contact with any alleged victims or witnesses or co-defendants. No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription. They've got your paperwork if you step to your left.
So I'm not getting out?
Not unless you post $2,000 bond. Mr. Alvarez, Julio Alvarez. And then Emmanuel Young, you can go to the chair. Hi, sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth?
6/21/26.
Are you Julio Gonzalez Alvarez?
Yes.
All right, thanks. You're here on a warrant from the Kyrene Justice Court and a probation warrant from the Superior Court. I'm going to start with your felony probation warrant. You are on probation in a felony case, and a petition to revoke your probation was filed because you absconded right after you got released. And it alleges violation of terms 3 and 5. You'll get a copy of it from your lawyer. I am appointing a lawyer for you in probation court. Your court date there is going to be this Thursday, May 7th at 8:30 in the morning in downtown Phoenix. That address is on your paperwork. The Kyrene Justice Court put out a warrant for you for failing to appear post-conviction in a case in which you've been convicted of interfering with judicial proceedings. It's a Class 1 misdemeanor. This is a warrant for failing to complete domestic violence classes or treatment, and also fines and fees. So I'm going to give you a court date in Kyrene Justice Court of May 6th, Wednesday, May 6th at 8:30 in the morning. That's the day before the hearing in your probation case. Everything is on your paperwork. In your probation case, I'm going to affirm the judge's bond. The probation judge's bond is $250 secured. In the Kyrene case, I'm going to affirm that judge's bond. It is $350 secured. So that's $600 total. If you bond out, comply with all of your conditions, you must call the probation department within 72 hours of any release from jail. That is a term of your probation. We put the main number on your paperwork, so you have no excuse if you bond out for not calling your PO. That's what landed you here to begin with, is getting sentenced, getting released, and disappearing. If you don't call, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest, and you're going to lose your bond money. Everything's in your paperwork, though. If you step to your left, what's that?
Am I gonna get released today or?
Upon the posting of $600 to secure your appearance. So if you don't have $600, you don't get released. You stay in jail, talk to your lawyer next week. Everything's on your paperwork. Mr. Young? And then Desiree Horton, we go to the chair. Good morning, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth?
Emmanuel Young, 6603.
Okay, thanks. You're here on one new case and 2 probation warrants. In the new case, you were arrested for possession of narcotic drugs. It's a Class 4 felony, and there is probable cause for it. I am appointing a lawyer for you, and I'm going to give you court dates in a second. Let me see if I can put them together. Yes, you're lucky, we can't. So, you're also here on 2 probation warrants, in addition to the new case. You're on felony probation in 2 cases back on April 20th. There were warrants put out for your arrest in both of these cases because petitions to revoke your probation were filed. Those allege that you violated terms 3, 4, and 5. You'll get a copy of those petitions from your lawyer. I'm appointing a lawyer for you in the probation cases as well. You have the same next court date for everything. It is May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, which is this Thursday. In the new case, it's a status conference. In the probation cases, it's a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing. The address in downtown Phoenix will be on your paperwork. Then in the new case only, you also need a preliminary hearing. So we're setting that for Monday, May 11th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. That will also be on your paperwork. All right. I'm going to affirm the probation judge's bonds in each of the probation cases, and that's $250 secured per case for $500 total. In the new case, your bond is also $500 secured, so that is $1,000 total. If you bond out, comply with all of your written release conditions. Do not miss your court dates. Everything's on your paperwork if you step to your left. Thank you. Ms. Horton, and then Richard Blessant. We go to the chair. Hi, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Desiree Horton,
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I was looking at it.
6/29/94.
Okay, thank you. You're here on 2 probation warrants. You're on probation in 2 different felony cases, and there were petitions to revoke your probation filed on October 31st of last year. The petitions allege that you violated terms 3 and 5. You'll get copies of those from your lawyer, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date will be in the downtown probation court this coming Thursday, May 7th at 8:30 in the morning. That address will be on your paperwork. I'm just going to affirm the bonds that were set by your probation judge. In number 16 on the calendar, your bond is $500 secured. In number 15 on the calendar, it is $250 secured. So that's $750 total. If you bond out, comply with all of your conditions, call the probation department within 72 hours of any release from jail. If you step to your left, I'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Blessant? And then Jamel Reed, will you please go to the chair? Hi, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth?
Richard Wayne Blessant, 4/10/74.
Okay, thank you. You are here on 4 warrants from the Peoria City Court. They all issued on the same day, which is April 23rd of this year. They're all for failure to appear in that court. Some appear to be post-conviction, some appear to be pre-conviction, but they are for the following offenses. Number 23 on the calendar, you've been charged with criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Number 24 on the calendar, you've been charged with drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Number 25 on the calendar, you've been charged with urban camping under the Peoria City Code. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. And in number 26 on the calendar, you've been charged with obstructing a public roadway. That's a Class 2 misdemeanor. You're going to have the same next court date for all 4 of these cases in the Peoria City Court. That is May 5th, this coming Tuesday, 9 in the morning, up in the Peoria City Court. Now, you've been through court quite a few times on these. You know it, I know it, Peoria knows it. I'm going to set an appearance bond for you. They ordered all of these as, I think, 1,000 cash. I'm not doing that, but I do believe an appearance bond is needed. I'm setting 100 secured per case. That's 400 total.
Yeah.
If you bond out, comply with all of your conditions, don't miss your court dates. What did you want to say?
I just recently got out of the hospital.
Yeah, these are old warrants, Mr. Blessant,
Yeah.
and as they note, in some of the cases, there have been at least 8 warrants issued for you. So, Mr. Blessant, you're getting the bond today.
Okay, that's fine.
You're getting, you got a tenth of what they ordered, so that's as good as you're gonna get. Good luck, sir. Mr. Reed, Jamel Reed? And then Sergio Dominguez, will you go to the chair? Right here, sir. All right, good morning, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Yeah, hi, my name is Jamel Reed, August 1st, 2000.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Reed, you're here on 1 new case and a probation hold in your misdemeanor probation case. In the new case, You got booked in for criminal trespass in the first degree and criminal damage, both alleged as Class 6 felonies. Based on what the police presented, there is probable cause for those, and I'm appointing a lawyer for you in this case. I'm also appointing a lawyer in your probation case. You're on probation for a Class 1 misdemeanor, and by policy, the probation department has to file a petition to revoke your probation based on the new arrest. So you'll have a lawyer, it'll be the same person for both cases. Alrighty, your court dates are going to be slightly different because you're going to go to probation first. This coming Thursday, May 7th at 8:30 in the morning, that's your probation court date in downtown Phoenix, and that address will be on your paperwork. In the new case, your court date is the following week. It's a status conference, May 15th at 8:30 in the morning, and a preliminary hearing, May 18th at 8:30. Again, in the downtown Superior Court, address on your paperwork, and everything you need to know is on your paperwork. Now, you do not have much criminal history, and you have been reporting to probation. You haven't been in the wind, and it's just misdemeanor probation. So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance back to the supervision of your PO, okay? Because I believe even if you did exactly what you're accused of, you're not dangerous in the community, you're not a public menace, and you're likely to appear for court. So I don't decide whether you did it, Mr. Reed, just whether you're likely to come to court and whether you're likely to screw up while the case is pending. And I think you're not likely to screw up. You have been talking to your PO. Like I said, even if you did exactly what they say you did, I think it's safe to release you in the community. Show up, deal with your case, okay?
Thank you.
So I did give you a civil standby. I'm going to give it to your co-defendant too. If you've got any belongings left there, you have to call whoever, I don't know who arrested you, sheriffs, who arrested you? Mesa PD, call the Mesa PD, tell them you need a civil standby. They'll want to see your paperwork. They'll send an officer to go to the apartment complex with you to get your stuff. You just cannot go on your own. I try to make that very clear to people.
Yes, sir.
The only lawful way you can physically be at that complex is if you bring a Mesa cop with you to keep the peace. Probably you and your roommate can do it at the same time. I didn't even prohibit you guys from contacting each other because, again, even if I believe you did exactly what they said, it is not the crime of the century. That I think it's safe for you guys to have contact. You could go together on a civil standby, get what belongings, you know, you're not going to have to fight with the apartment complex to get. I don't know the situation. So just don't do anything to violate release conditions. That's what's going to land you back in jail, back facing stuff, and looking at a bond.
Yes, sir.
So just comply with everything. Call your PO within 72 hours of getting out, because a huge part of why I'm releasing you is you have been talking to your PO. You may not have been perfect, but so like they did a walkthrough, no violations. You just saw your PO on the 28th. So, and it looks like you did even go test. You went and tested on the 27th. So you're doing what we asked you to do. I believe that indicates you'll do what we order you to do while this criminal damage case goes forward.
Yes, Sean.
So just comply with all that. Don't miss any court dates,
I
okay?
got you.
All right, thank you. If you
Thank
stepped
you.
too left.
You have a good one.
Yeah, you too, sir. All right, Mr. Dominguez, and then Mr. Pfeiffer, you can go to the chair. Hi, sir, can I have your full name and date of birth?
My name is Sergio Rivera Dominguez. I was born June 9, 2006.
Thank you. You're here on a new case. You got arrested for unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle. Ooh, it's a Class 5 felony. I'm not going to reprint for that, but just so you know, it's worse than a 6. The higher you get in the classes, the worse it is. So unlawful flight is a Class 5 felony, and reckless driving a Class 2 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is a status conference May 15th, which is 2 weeks from today, 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Your preliminary hearing will be May 18th at 8:30 in the same court. And we didn't find any criminal history for you. You are not quite 20 years old. I don't believe we found any criminal history. All right. Yes, as far as I know, it's your first arrest. You don't have to tell me if it's not. And so this appears to be a very common scenario, although yours is less common, meaning like there's the whole donut and drone aspect to that, which tends to indicate people are going to violate and do this kind of dumb stuff again. But I don't have any reason to think that. I was unimpressed, and my first thought was to give you a $2,500 bond because they said they tried to grapple the truck, and you went around them, and they had to pit you to get you to stop, which is a strong indication of flight risk and extremely poor judgment. I I thought about it, though, Mr. Dominguez. I see a lot of young men commit this type of stupidity offense. That's what I call it. Sometimes they hurt other people, and then you can be sure we give them a bond because they're in on aggravated assault charges. This is one where it is very remarkably stupid to think that you can run from the cops these days. They get your plate. They'll look at the license plate readers for hours before. They will never let you go if you do this. They pulled out, I think, is this the one where they followed you with a drone? They'll send a drone after you. They had to pit you to get you to stop, which could have ended your life. And then you know your mom would be suing them for murdering her kid and outraged about it. But who made the bad decision to drive around a grappler? So if you did this, you do enjoy the presumption of innocence. You're not the smartest tool in the shed. I hope this whole fun experience has led you to understand that this case is not going away if you magically ignore it and try to hide from it. It will not go away. They will literally put you on a fugitive detail and go find you. I sign warrants for that all the time. So I'm going to release you, Mr. Dominguez. I'm going to make you call into pretrial services. I flirted with an ankle monitor. I don't want to waste their time either. You're either going to grow a clue or you're not. But again, just the dodging of the grappler and having to be pitted to be stopped raises your risk level very much in my mind. I just held a young woman no bond on her second unlawful flight because she's on probation for unlawful flight. She did it again allegedly yesterday. She did not get bond in her probation case because you're proving something to everybody. So this is your opportunity now to prove that you can come to court, that you can comply with the release conditions. You want to defend your case? Great. Go meet with your lawyer. As long as you show up and do what's on that paperwork, we're good. You miss a court date, you're getting a warrant, you get a bond. And God forbid, if you commit a felony trying to dodge that warrant, because we will hold you no bond. Did you watch it happen to two people? Did you pay attention?
Yeah.
They came in with new felonies. That's you now. Any new felony committed while this case is open and pending, you will be held no bond at this hearing. So just grow a clue, go to court, deal with your case. Will you do all of those things?
Understood.
All right. Then I just need you to call into pretrial services. After you get out, you're going to get an envelope. Don't lose it. When you get out, open it up, call them, just start reporting in. It's not hard. I just want to keep track of you, and I find that people who are new to the system, particularly young people, it helps them to have somebody kind of keeping track of them and helping them keep track of court dates so they don't screw up. It's not a doctor's appointment. You miss a court hearing in a felony case, you're getting a bond. All right, if you step to your left, you take your paperwork. Good luck.
And then all the information I need is there, right?
Correct. Everything you need to know. And Mr. Pfeiffer, thank you. Good luck. And Valentina Gonzalez, will you go to the chair? Hi, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Lanelle Deshaun Pfeiffer, July 30th, 2001.
Okay, thanks. You're on a new case. You got arrested for criminal trespass in the first degree and criminal damage, both as Class 6 felonies. Based on what the police presented, there is probable cause for this. I am appointing a lawyer for you. I forgot. I got to appoint a different one for him because he's a co-defendant. Do you want us to stick them together? His co-defendant is Mr. Reed, number 8. Yeah, because I can't send you to the same public defender agency. It'll be a conflict. So I got to send you to the legal defender. Our system, I don't know if it's our system. I don't know if it's the cops doing something different at booking, but we're not getting people properly connected as co-defendants anymore. Okay. And the public defender it'll delay you actually talking to a lawyer if they go, oh, wait, we can't represent both these guys, and then I don't want there to be a delay in your case. All right, so you're going to go to the legal defender, which is a public agency, also very large, very experienced. Don't worry.
Okay.
So I'm giving you 2 court dates, same as your co-defendant. Status conference May 15th at 8:30 in the morning, 2 weeks from today. Preliminary hearing May 18th at 8:30. That's all going to be on your paperwork. And as far as we know, it's your first arrest. You don't have to tell me if it's not. And just like I told your co-defendant, even if I thought you did precisely what they accuse you of, I still think I don't have any reason to think you won't be smart enough to come to court and comply with release conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
So you do need to do a civil standby to get belongings. So just like him, you got to.
That's the thing. I told the office that my ID,
you got to have, people got to have their stuff. I know.
don't have my ID.
I know. And that's why I always, because I'm the presiding commissioner here, I train all the incoming judges and I tell them, you need to pretty much always give people a civil standby, because if you don't give people a legal way to get their stuff, they're going to go get their stuff anyway. People need their stuff.
'Cause
I know,
I'm
and
in
so that's why I give you a civil standby, because
Mhm.
people get put between a rock and a hard place. And so you can legally go if you bring a Mesa officer with you. Just coordinate with your co-defendant, call the Mesa
So we can
non-emergency.
just call them and just
Call
set it
Mesa
up?
non-emergency, say, I need a civil standby. They know exactly what it is. They'll want to see your paperwork. Don't lose your paperwork, because if the court didn't order it, they just say, oh, well, we don't have time for that.
Okay.
And so if the court said you can do a civil standby, they'll give you an officer to go with you. The nicer you are, I think the sooner they'll do it and the longer they'll give you. It's up to them, though. I've been told, they'll give you 20 or 30 minutes of officer time. I
And
always
we
say,
won't even need that, literally.
right. And so, please do it the peaceful way, because if you don't, you can end up back here. And I have seen people evicted come in on double criminal trespass.
Yes, ma'am. It was,
And then you end up
it was
held no
all
bond.
just a misunderstanding, Judge McLaughlin, I understand. I appreciate you too for
Okay,
the civil standby, because I don't have an ID, and that's the only way I can get my stuff. Like,
And
I'm
people,
from
I know, and you make people desperate, and maybe they make desperate decisions, although you are innocent until proven guilty, sir. So please, take all of your paperwork. Step to your left, it still takes hours to be released. Try to be patient. You'll be out later today. Thank you. All right, Ms. Gonzalez, and then Amy Wyman, will you go to the chair? Hi, ma'am, can I have your full name and date of birth?
Valentina Gonzalez, 03/28/2003.
Okay, thanks. You're in a warrant from Goodyear City Court, failing to appear in a case in which you've been charged with criminal speeding, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor. They've also added a failure to appear in a misdemeanor case charge, which is itself a Class 2 misdemeanor. I'm going to give you an arraignment hearing May 20th, at 1 in the afternoon. That is a Wednesday, about 3 weeks from now, Wednesday, May 20th, 1 in the afternoon, Goodyear City Court. I am going to release you again in this case. Here's why. Looks like you did appear once after being arrested. Then they set another court date and you just blew them off. This is the lowest class of misdemeanor on the books, a Class 3. It's the lowest thing that you can go to jail for in this state. Most people don't even do a single night in jail unless the cop arrests them up front, which they often do. The only reason you spent last night in jail was because of your own decision not to go and to blow them off and not call them. All right, you can do that again. You do it again, I'm definitely giving you a bond. I think you've already had your wrist slapped, I hope, for not going. If you do it again, you'll have to pay money and spend the night in jail. Maybe you don't have money, and then it's like being held no bond. Can you do the math? Will you go, May 20th?
Yeah, I also have a court date in Yuma
When?
for May 20th as well.
Okay, you got it when you get out. I can't change, Goodyear, we're locked into their dates because they are not us. We just do this hearing for them, so I just can't willy-nilly change their date. Call them, because give them a few days to know that you exist. So maybe middle of next week, call and say, I got released from jail. They gave me the May 20th. I've got a court date. Can you please give me another court date? It's my understanding these courts will usually be pretty flexible with the misdemeanor folks as long as you call them before the warrant goes out. Once the warrant goes out, it gets iffy.
Okay.
So just don't screw that up. Call them and get a different court date. They probably have a walk-in day. There's a lot they can do for you. Just call them, I'd say no later than the end of next week.
Okay.
All right, everything's on your paperwork. Go to court, ma'am. You're not likely to ever do another night in jail for this speeding ticket as long as you start showing up, okay? Everything's on your paperwork. If you step to your left, you get a copy.
Okay.
Good luck. Ms. Wyman? Hi, ma'am. Can I have your full name, date of birth?
Yes, Your Honor, it's Amy Wyman, 9/15/76.
Okay, thank you. You're here on a new case. You got arrested for possessing dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for those, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. You are ordered to go to court in 2 weeks for a status conference. That's May 15th, 8:30 in the morning. It's in downtown Phoenix, and the address is on your paperwork. Your preliminary hearing will be May 18th at 8:30, also on your paperwork. Now, I'm willing to release you on this case. You got a little bit of criminal history, but it's just drug paraphernalia, and this is a drug charge. So I'm willing to give you a chance to be out of custody. Are you in for anything else, or did they just not like your clothes? Was it a clothing issue, or do you have a different charge?
I don't know.
Do you have any other charges for her, officers? Okay. So it must have just been something about your clothes. Okay. I just want to make sure, because if I release you, but you're being held for a different jurisdiction, I might not be doing you any favors. So I am going to release you. Those court dates will stand. You're released OR, ma'am, it looks like you did successfully, or you completed probation in your other case, so I know you know how to follow, court release conditions. It's a drug case, it's very likely, it might still be Prop 200, so you know what that is, remember? So just go to court. Yeah, it looks like you were discharged, designated felonies, you probably didn't do that great on probation. Still, I'm gonna give you a chance to be out of custody, just show up, okay? And talk to your lawyer when you get there. Everything's gonna be on your paperwork. If you stepped your left, I'll give you a copy. Don't lose it. Don't miss court.
Okay,
All right, good luck, ma'am.
thank you.
Okay, so then, I thought I brought the sticky for the house calls, and I did not. Okay, but I'll just ask, so, hey, officer? Yes. So for Benny Rodriguez, Virgil Taylor, Robert Dominguez, and David Mata, it's each of them not physically present in court because they've been isolated as a risk to themselves or others? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Then, Virgil Taylor, I can't remember because he was kind of on the bubble for me. Is he super out of it? Has he been combative?
Yeah, he's combative.
He is combative.
And I went to check like an hour and a half, and he not even answer.
He wouldn't answer, so he might be.
I mean, he was sleeping.
Right.
I went to talk to him.
Okay, I'm gonna look at his public access. Yeah, I can't see that, this is still a failure to approve him citation. All right, so I'm still planning to release him, provided he gives me a baseline indication that he'll go to court. So, okay, all right. Benny Rodriguez, born 1/20/2002, is here on 2 probation violation warrants. He's on probation in 2 cases. There were petitions to revoke his probation filed April 23rd of this year. Oops, I just closed it. They allege that he violated terms 3, 4, 5, and 14. I'll let him know he'll get copies from his lawyer. I'm appointing a lawyer in both cases. I'm going to give him a court date of May 7th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown probation court for a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing. And I'm inclined to set a $500 security appearance bond at number 17 on the calendar, a $1,000 security appearance bond at number 18 on the calendar, which is the armed robbery class 2 felony. So that's $1,500 total with release conditions, that I will go over with him. Virgil Lee Taylor, born 12/6/86, is here on a warrant from Peoria City Court, failing to appear in a case in which he's been accused of urban camping, a class 1 misdemeanor in violation of the Peoria City Code, and consumption of liquor in public, which is a class 2 misdemeanor. And I'm going to give him an arraignment hearing on May 19th at 9 in the morning in the Peoria City Court, and it does look like this is a first failure to appear after a citation, as far as I could tell from public access. So I'm going to give him a try at release, provided he gives me a basic indication that he will comply with conditions and go to court. All right, Robert Dominguez is here on 2 things. One is a new arrest, and one is a probation warrant. In the new case number 31, he was accused of robbery, a class 4 felony. There is probable cause for it, and I'm appointing a lawyer for him. The status conference will be May 7th at 8:30 in the morning with a preliminary hearing May 11th at 8:30, and that'll be in the downtown Superior Court. And it's my current inclination to set bail in the amount recommended by the county attorney, which is $25,000 secured, based on the strength of the weight of the evidence, his approximately 10 prior felony convictions, and the fact that he is a probation absconder, according to the allegations in number 30. So in number 30 on the calendar, again, the petition to revoke was already filed. He was already in warrant status since April 1st of this year, been reinstated twice in this case. It is not Prop 200. The terms alleged are 3 and 15, the violations. So I'll let him know he'll get a copy of that from his lawyer. I'm going to give him a revocation hearing and possible disposition hearing May 7 at 8:30, downtown Superior Court. And that's for both cases. No, wrong guy? Right, this is Robert Dominguez, sorry. Right, probation case, I believe it is still Prop 200. Yeah, his probation case is still Prop 200. So number 30 on the calendar, his court date will be May 7th, 8:30 in the morning in the downtown probation court, and I'm inclined to set bail in the amount of $5,000 secured. It's a class 4. No, I'm sorry, I think this is a class 6, but it's not Prop 200. Alrighty, and in the robbery case, $25,000 secured. That's my inclination with orders not to return. Can't go to any part of last chance property, including parking lots in public areas. So that'd be 25,000 in that case for 30,000 total. All right, David Mata, born 11/24/81, is here on a new case and a probation warrant. In the new case, he got arrested for aggravated assault on a first responder, a class 4 felony, resisting arrest, a class 6 felony. I did find probable cause. I am appointing law firm in both cases. He's also here on a probation warrant. He's on probation for a class 4 felony, and there was a warrant already out for him alleging that he violated terms 1, 3, and 5. That was March 9th. He has been reinstated 3 times in this case, and it's not Prop 200. All right, so in the new case, I'm inclined to set bail in the amount of $5,000 secured with written release conditions. In the probation case, I do find that he will, in all reasonable probability, be revoked to prison. So I'm not intending to give him bond in the probation case. He'll be held without bond. All right, I'm going to go over everything with these defendants in person, in-house, immediately after this recording. If anything changes, my final decision will be reflected in my court order. I don't intend to update this recording unless I have a reason to do something in open court. All right, then I am going to stand in recess until 2 p.m. this afternoon.